Am I the jerk for ending a family vacation early after I was told I was unlovable and will die alone by family members? Every year my family and I do an annual vacation. I'm expected to pay, yet I have no choice on the matter of where we go and how much it cost. Generally, I'm fine paying for my siblings, and I, because my siblings are married, work multiple jobs and still on minimum wage, and struggling to make ends meet. They provide for their kids and struggle. They truly deserve a break. We all know parenting is hard. I'm expected to pay for family holidays because I'm the first in the family to go to college. I'm well educated and I'm a lawyer. As you can tell, I make good money and I don't consider myself intelligent, but not dumb as well, sort of average. This year, the holiday was in Spain. I booked a holiday package for $5,000 and paid a deposit. The remaining balance was to be paid on the day of exiting the resort. We left Sunday. It was a bit hectic and there were loads of emotions flying around. I don't have kids, but with having to get up early at 3 a.m. to leave for the airport with sleepy, exhausted kids, it was stressful. We got to the airport and we got on our flight. So far it was okay. We arrived in the resort to check in. Everything was fine. We had the usual ID checks and I told them I will pay for the remaining balance at the end of the 2-week holiday. After checking in, my family were arranging to meet up in an hour's time for lunch. I told them I'm going to stay in my room for the remainder of the day as I didn't feel good from being travel sick. I also get very moody with no sleep. I just needed the rest. Today came, and this is where the drama starts. I came down to meet with my family and I discovered my brother was super drunk and kicking off at staff. He was intoxicated, refusing to pay for his tab and abusing the staff. The staff, understandably, wasn't accepting his behavior and was threatening to call the police. I asked the staff what the situation was. Apparently I was supposed to pay his tab. He had $500. I wasn't going to pay that. Maybe if it was $50, I would have. My brother started verbally abusing me. I ended up leaving without paying the tab. From what I know from family members, police arrived and forced him to pay or be arrested. He wasn't happy. Later on, he came knocking on my door. I told him to go and sleep the drinking off. He started being verbally abusive, shouting and calling me all sort of names. He was shouting loudly because some guests came out of their room and asked what was going on. I told them he's my brother, he's pissed off and he's intoxicated. I asked if they could deal with him whilst I call family members to collect him. Big mistake. A family member got fed up after trying to convince my brother to go to his room to get to sleep. She started yelling at me and so did his wife. They were yelling at me for not paying his tab. My brother was screaming at me, calling me an unlovable, selfish person who will die alone. What he said upset me. For context, our family has a history of DV. My parents hit my siblings and I on a regular basis. I try to avoid this as much as I can by taking part in free extracurricular activities and staying at the library, reading, writing, learning and researching. That's why I'm a bit of an academic nerd. I quickly learned to switch of my emotions around my parents. If I cried, they'd beat me with a belt. I soon switched of all emotions in front of everyone. I will now show emotions when I'm alone. My brother was calling me an emotionless human being who has no friends. I have 5 very close friends who I communicate on a daily basis, but see every 6 months. We like our own company. We're massive introverts. I was extremely upset already as my cat had died last Wednesday. My brother's attitude was the final straw. I went to reception and spoke to them about the situation. I asked if I can cancel the holiday and pay for what I have accessed so far. After some back and forth, we came to an agreement and they allowed me to end the holiday early. However, because of my brother's drunken attitude, if they wanted to continue staying here, they weren't allowed. Staff wouldn't deal with the brother anymore. I went upstairs, quietly packed. I checked for flights home. There weren't any till the next day, so I had to get a car hire and drive for 3 hours home. I live in Europe. I did check my phone tonight and my phone is blowing up. I'm being called the worst person and worst selfish person ever. They found out I canceled the holiday. They had to pay more than this package cost to stay at another resort as they weren't allowed to stay. They had to dip into the savings, and now they have no money to enjoy the holiday. I'm having mixed thoughts about if I was an asshole. So Ida?